Hello, friends, and welcome back to Too Many Minis. My name's Ossie, and it's been a while since I've done a video live. I'm going to Throne of Skulls this year, the Middle-earth Throne of Skulls. It's my favorite event at Warhammer World. It's a soft scores event. You know, your kind of most sporting votes and your painting and all that stuff factors into your score and all that kind of thing. And so people don't bring such competitive lists. People bring display boards. People bring really themey, odd armies. Some people dress up. I might dress up. Am I? Not sure. Yeah, I really like it for that. I think, because I'm rubbish at the game. So just getting spanked for 6 games isn't always the most fun. And I like to turn up with something. I've been a couple of times. I normally plan to go to Warhammer World once a year, but this year it's 2 because I did get a ticket to Throne of Skulls, and it is my favorite. And I should just stick to trying to go to Throne of Skulls. It's the one I like best. I wanted to pick an army I hadn't done before, a force representing something that I hadn't seen done before, and I turned to the books, and I found a bit that I really like in the books. It's just after Theoden's been killed and Eomer's come, and he's on the Pelennor Fields. Eomer's come, and he thinks Eowyn's dead. Merry's walking back to the city with the body of Eowyn, and they bump into Imrahil, and he tells them what's going on. And Imrahil says she's not dead; she's alive. Then the passage that I want to make an army of is this: and now the fighting waxed furious on the fields of the Pelennor, and the din of arms rose upon high, with the crying of men and the neighing of horses. Horns were blown and trumpets were braying, and the Mumakil were bellowing as they were goaded to war. Under the south walls of the city, the footmen of Gondor now drove against the legions of Morgul that was still gathered there in strength. But the horsemen rode eastward to the succour of Eomer, Hurin the Tall, Warden of the Keys, and the Lord of Lassanac, and Herluin of the Green Hills, and Prince Imrahil the Fair with his knights all about him. Yeah, they ride. These are the great lords of Gondor, riding to the rescue of their rescuers, Rohan. And I love that idea. It's a great excuse for an all-mounted army, which is fun. I had loads of time to prepare this list. Of course, I have not been as productive as I could have been. And I now have less time because it's the last weekend of November, and well, you'll see I haven't got everything done. Here is Hurin. He's coming along. He's got a bit more to do. I had to give him a helmeted head because I lost his head. I opened his packet up 2 years ago to build Ingold, or at least a year ago, and somehow his head has fallen out, and I don't know where it is. So he's got a helmet, which I don't hate at all. I think that looks fine. And yeah, I'm just painting him up with his foot version. He's going to have a kind of black with cream and a red lining. And that's going to be the scheme that I follow for my Citadel Guard. He's going to be leading, I think it's something like 5 Citadel Guard on horse, for which I'm using the old metal Knights models and giving them bow hands. And the bows are all left-handed, so I had to put them in the right hand and then sculpt little thumbs onto them. I don't know if you can see that little green thumb. Anyway, and they're in slightly awkward poses, but I can live with it. It's all right. They are going to be, I think there's 5 of them, and then he's going to have some regular knights to lead. And I can paint them up pretty quickly. So he's got a unit of about 10. Then we've got the aforementioned Lord of Lassanac, Forlong the Fat. This is my painted foot model, which I took to Warhammer World earlier in the year, I think. But he's going to need to be on a horse, isn't he? Because they're clearly riding. So here's the model I've converted up on a horse. I've tilted his arm a bit, put a spear right through it. He's blowing his horn, and I've stuck him. Basically, it's his top half and the body of Elisar, the Aragorn King model, on horse. And I've blended the cloak in a bit there. It's not the smoothest job in the world, but it's going to have to do. And he's got a very big spear to be his war spear. But I didn't actually have the spear top for the spare Forlong model I had. But he's not leading anyone because it doesn't mention him leading anyone in the book, and it's not like you can have any, mounted Lassanac. So he's going to be kind of independent guy. little one drop. Imrahil, it's pretty straightforward. I might add some more detailing to his horse clothes, but he's good to go. And obviously he's going to have some Swan Knights to go with him. Here's a guy that he can have, and they'll be doing their thing. I'll get them finished. But the big one is Herluin the Fair, Herluin of the Green Hills of Peneth Galen. And so for them, I wanted to basically have a look which is different from regular. I'm just going to run them as a captain and some knights of Minas Tirith. That's what they're going to be in game. But you can see Herluin is made with plastic aaaggh's head, a captain of Minas Tirith body in a nice heroic pose, and the shields from the Numenorians. And this is what the generic knights are going to look like. Pretty simple. They've got, it's just a knight body, but with a Numenorian head. And I've cut down the wings on their helms to make them just a little more simple. And I can show you what they look like painted up. They're gallant green-clad men in the description, so they got to be in some greens. And that's one of them. Here's another. And I'm quite keen on them. Made them nice and shiny. Here's a dismount for the banner bearer that we're going to have. Again, you can see the head blends in pretty well. And considering the Numenorians are very small, their heads actually aren't too small. I think they look quite good. Here's the banner I've made. Because I didn't fancy chopping up the mounted knight with banner, because his head is kind of fixed to the banner behind him. It doesn't really work. So I've made him a banner out of, yogurt pot or something. Covered in a bit of sprue goo. Hopefully that's going to prime up okay. We'll see. Anyway, that's the banner guy. And then this is the mounted Herluin. Again, the aaagh head, because I assembled my plastic aaagh with, you can see him just here, with the helmeted options, leaving me some free flowing heads. This is him. He's got a Liesling cataphracti cape billowing behind him, and I think he's going to look pretty good on horseback. I'm going to have to make him look extra fair. I don't know. There's some argument about whether he's fair as in just, fair as in good looking, or fair as in blonde. I'm going to go with all three. Why not? And I might try and find him a suitably grand horse to sit on as well. We'll see. For the basing, I'm going to continue my general Pelennor theme. Models that I think of as being closer to the city have a bit of the outside road on them. Either a fully cobbled base or just some, and then it'll be grass on this side. Like they're just crossing over the road. So that's my army. I think it's something like 38 mounted models. I've got quite a bit of work to do, but it's kind of batch painting. Once I've got these heroes painted up, it's kind of batch painting, and I think I can do it. I was thinking about doing a display board. I'm not going to do it now. I may try and reuse the display board I made with Simon for an event last year. It's kind of Gondorian Gates was a Ramos Ekor display board. Maybe I can use that. It's a bit touch and go as to whether I can fit 38 40mm bases on that display board, but we'll give it a shot. Otherwise, it's not the end of the world. I was thinking about making a kind of, one of those kind of Perspex display boxes. I was thinking of making one of them where the base is just a generic kind of Pelennor Fields ground with some bodies and, spears sticking out the ground and casualties and stuff. And then I could have that just, behind me here. And you can put whatever Pelennor forces I want to display in that. Yeah, but I haven't done it. So I'm probably not doing it for this. I've also got an event this weekend. My man Jake Robson's event, 3, I am no 3, I am an event, which is a 3-player team event at 333 points each. And I'm playing that with my man Simon and Stuart, and I'm taking along a list which was supposed to have like overlap with this Gondor list for Throne of Skulls, but of course it doesn't really. The only overlap is Hurin, and it's taking Denethor, who I've got painted, 7 Rangers with spears, which I'm halfway through painting for this weekend, and some regular Minas Tirith guys, which are all painted, the warriors. But I need to get that finished up. So mainly I need to get Hurin finished this week. Oh yeah, this is an important detail. For the shields of Peneth Gelen, it's a green hill land bordered on 2 sides by rivers. So I wanted to incorporate that into some of the sort of heraldry. So I've done this kind of variety of different 2 river green hill sort of designs, and I'm quite pleased with them. I like the ones on this end more than the ones on this end, but I think it's a good little variety. And when you see them kind of on the knights, I think they can look pretty good and show that they're kind of just the word gallant, and then knights. I think that's it doesn't say they're knights specifically, but it says they're gallant green clad men, and I think this is a bit of heraldry. Sounds good to me. We've got a little crew going up from the London Wargaming Guild to Throne of Skulls. I think it's going to be a nice crowd. I like the social side of it. I like hanging out up there and, just looking around the shop. And it's always a great place to go and catch up with people from around the country. Give me a shout if you're going, and what are you taking? I think this is one thing where people can sort of give away what they're taking without having to worry too much about making themselves lose games and give away the advantage. I think we should be safe. I'll be safe losing. No news on Middle-earth releases or anything. I'm still anticipating the possibility that we get a Osgiliath terrain big box for Christmas. That seems like the only thing that might land on us. Anything else seems fanciful at the moment. Watch this space. I'm very consumed with 40k and kill team stuff at the moment. That's what I'm kind of hyped on. But I'm trying to get this Gondor army knocked out for Throne of Skulls, and then I can kind of concentrate that at the end of the year. Not that there's much spare time in December, but a lot of horses to paint. Not a massive fan of painting horses, but I did one yesterday like this, which is just a kind of slap chop style dry brush grey, light grey over mid grey, and then contrast over the top. That's Gorgrunter fur, and I'm happy enough with that. I can live with that without probably doing anything much else to it, especially if I've got to do 38 of them. So I'll try and bash these out. I've got a lot of them ready to go. I'll try and bash them out. For the regular Minas Tirith Knights, they're going to be, I think, in just the regular black colours like you see in the movie, rather than the blue scheme that I did for my Ingold's Defenders of the Rammas. I'm going to leave these as that scheme is just going to be for foot guys who I think of as being the Rammas and having the Ingold shield. So these knights are going to be in black. The Citadel Guard are going to have this kind of black and cream with red as an accent colour. I've got to do a couple of dismounts for them. I've got to do some dismounts for the knights. Well, I've probably got enough. I have some old Minas Tirith knights painted up in the main film colours, but I might need to repaint a few more and even possibly do some dismounts for the green clad men of Peneth Galen. But I'm going to be leaving them till last because, frankly, that's a pain, and I don't really mind if they change colour when they're dismounted. A lot can happen in a battle. If you've got event deadlines coming up, tell me what you're painting. Join the Discord. There's always some good painting progress on our Discord server. Link below. And as always, thanks for tuning in and liking and subscribing and all that jazz. I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.